Hey guys, this is Arethurin, and I have another Otome video for you today. So I have 100% finished Homura, the Crimson Warriors on the Nintendo Switch. I received a review key from Idea Factory through Keymailer. I was super excited to get this key. This is a newer game. I believe it came out in March. Just for some history, this game is a game that originally came out on the PSP era in Japan, but it never got a release in the West in English. So this is the first time we're getting it in English. Also, if, just a heads up, if you're like, oh man, that art looks good, but it looks oddly familiar. Where have I seen that before? It is the same artist that was used for Hakuoki. So just a heads up, this game very much is similar to Hakuoki in a lot of different ways. You'll probably pick up on that while you play through the game. If you are playing through and you think that, no, you're not crazy. There's a lot of similarities between it. Not necessarily a bad thing, because Hakuoki is very, very popular. But just a heads up. So that being said, if you like Hakuoki, you probably will like Homura. So if you love Hakuoki, you should probably go buy Homura right now. So, how long did it take me to complete the game? I don't know, like 40 hours, 30 to 40 hours. I know that's a big range. I can't math in my head right now. I probably should have done that before I started recording, but I didn't. So I think about like almost every chapter took me about an hour. So the game is a total of 9 chapters. The first 3 are common route, and then chapters 4 through 9 are individual for all the guys. So there are only 5 routes. So 9 times 5 is 45. So 40, probably around 40, because the common route, once you play it through it once, you can skip text, right? There are no secret characters to unlock. So I'm just going to put that out there. Disappointed. I was hoping for the bad guy, the main bad guy in this game, to be a secret route that you can unlock to romance. Because I like yanderes and I like the crazy guys a little bit. But unfortunately, he is not an unlockable person. Which I was like, damn. So would have really enjoyed that. So what is Homura about? Homura is based in the Sengoku era, and it is about the 10 Sonata brave ninjas who serve Lord Nobushige Sanada. So the Nanas are a clan that is very known for being brilliant tacticians, brilliant strategists, great at making war plans, all that jazz. So 10 Sonata's braves, I think they actually existed historically is a little sketch. But Nobushige has definitely existed. He was a real person. You can go Google basically the events based in this game, which is like Siege of Osaka, and it leads up to the burning of Osaka Castle, which if you did not know, like while there is Osaka Castle in Japan, it is a reproduction and has a museum inside. It's not actually like the remnants of the castle. The original castle got burned to the ground. That's a historical event. So this game is set around historical events. So you can Google Nobushige and see what his life was really like in comparison to the game. Or you can just enjoy the game. It's really up to you. I'm not a super big history person. I know very little about Japanese history. So like going into this, I was just like, had no idea. And I did Google some of the events because I was like, what? And I was like, oh. And then once I Googled the events, I was like, well, shit. That explains a lot, actually. So, they are making this story, and it's based on historical events. They're having to fit within the bounds of a historical events, like Hakuoki. It's also kind of tragic, a little bit, like Hakuoki. And if you start Googling the guys, and whether they really existed or not, and what actually happened to them, I did that with Hakuoki too, and I regretted it. So, some people are into that, not me. I'm gonna pretend they're all not real. But if you're a super big history buff, maybe you'll find it fun. So, that being said, it's a historical Otome. It's very heavy on the plot and historical events. It's very light on the romance. So if you are here for fluffy, wuffy romance, it's kind of there in some of the routes, but it's not a big focus. So as I've said in my other videos, like, you want like super duper romance, like Cupid, Parasite, Hanakare, probably better options for you. But if you're really into the historical stuff and you really love Hakuoki, then I do think Homura will be a really great fit for you to play through. So, 10 Sonata Braves, Siege of Osaka Castle, 5 love interests. Okay. Obviously the top one is obvious one, which I guess, you know, I could see a situation where you wouldn't make him love interest and I would have been angry. But, you know, your Lord Nobushige Sanada, he was one. And then you have Juzo Kake, who is Nobu's like right-hand man. You have Sasuke Sarutobi. He is like the lead master ninja. You have Kamanosuke. He is another ninja. And you have Saizo, and he is the last ninja. So you have a lord and then 4 ninjas that you can romance. And my favorite was Juzo. Second was Nobu. And then, it's really hard for me to pick between Saizo and Sasuke. But if I had to pick, third place would go to Saizo. Fourth would go to Sasuke, and then fifth would go to Kamanosuke. So I guess I'll start with like top for me. Juzo Kake, his route had more romance into it, and he's also like, he is Nobu's right-hand man. He is all about trying to keep Nobu alive. That is his. They're practically like brothers. Like, they're not blood brothers, but they're practically like brothers. They're raised together. He wants Nobushige to survive these wars and just keep living. His, like, all is for his lord. He comes across as a very, like, kind, kind of like a prince type. Like, very kind. But he's really that, hey, I have a very good mask on, and I'm not really super kind. I am actually kind of manipulative and devious, and also a very, very smart tactician. And he was very, very much my type. The only kind of person, the only type I like more than this type is yandere's. So he's not really a yandere for the main character. But very princess type with a mask, and he's really kind of like cynical and direct, and like, I'm smarter than everyone else a little bit, kind of. It's quite funny. But his route had a lot of twists and turns that I was not expecting. I also feel like it went out of the standard format a little bit more than some of the others, as far as like the story beats and the sides of the story that you get to see the different perspectives. So super fun. Okay, so after Juzo, I like Nobu. Nobu is the lord that you serve. You're his ninja. He is a good lord to serve. He's not a tyrant. He's very kind. He's very loyal to his people. He generally cares about everyone surviving. He generally wants to do his duty. He wants to beat the Tokugawa, but at the same time, he doesn't want to lose his people. So he genuinely cares about the rest of the guys, and he has created this family that you are now a part of. And he's just a wonderful guy. He's just kind. His story also has a little bit more romantic, a little bit more will they, won't they going on that I thoroughly enjoyed. Let's see. What did I say? Okay, Saizo. I really liked Saizo, especially in the common route. He's very flirty. Very flirty. His whole shtick is, you're going to be my kunoichi, and the implication is that apparently, like, the kunoichis serve a master ninja, and they have a relationship with the master ninja that they serve. So his whole thing is he flirts with you, and I kind of thought his route was going to be like super duper sexy, and he was going to be a little bit of a red flag. I was kind of hoping he might turn into a yandere, because he's also very arrogant. He's very much like, I'm the best in the world, and I know it. He's also very smart, and he knows how to use your skills. So he actually turned out to be like a super green flag. Like, he is very sweet and loving. So I did enjoy his route quite a bit, but I would have liked a little bit more romance coming from it. I also liked that his personality surprised me. Again, He came off as very flirty. I thought he was going to be maybe a little bit of a himbo, but maybe not a himbo, but because he doesn't really come across as dumb. But I really expected like the sexual flirting to maybe escalate during his route. So he definitely, like, his route was good. Not as much romance, or as not as much romantic feelings as I thought Juzo and Nobu's had, which is why he kind of goes to 3. And another reason he got 3rd place is because his story is kind of not bare bones per se, because his story is good and detailed. All the individual stories are good. But his story doesn't really answer a lot of questions. Like, there are so many questions left unanswered that I was kind of like, well, okay. But his epilogue was really good. So 4th place goes to Sasuke. Sasuke is very much, he's a master ninja. He's very good at being a ninja. Ninjas are supposed to kind of cut off their emotions so that their emotions don't interfere with them doing their job, and they're also supposed to not really have attachment so that it doesn't interfere with their job. And he's very much like, he comes across as kind of emotionless, so he's not super in tune with his emotions. So like, a lot of plot going on, and when there are kind of flirty moments, getting him to blush is the most hilarious thing. But again, because like it's very much not in tune with your emotions going on, the romance was kind of like on the low side. His story also doesn't answer a lot of questions as much as I would like. So that was another reason that, you know, he's a little farther down. And then last place goes to Kaminosuke. Kaminosuke is just like, he's very boisterous, he's very loud, he loves to fight, very Genki energy. Not my type. Not my type in any shape or form. And he's kind of a dummy. And like, it's funny to see the other guys make fun of him for it. But like, because he's kind of a dummy, he's just very much not in tune with his emotions or the fact that he like likes you. So I found that kind of annoying. So I just didn't like his route. Now, his route did answer more questions than Sasuke and Saizo's, but not as much as Juzo, and then of course not as much as Nobu's. Like, the final details get, you know, realized in Nobu's route. So like, yeah, I didn't love him. No, I just didn't like him. I mean, I liked his story. It was kind of fun. It was kind of see him fun interacting with his villain, but overall, yeah. That's kind of my rankings for everything. Probably should have started this at the beginning, but oh well, I'm not restarting this video because it's already 10 plus minutes long. So, in the story beats, as you know, we're covering the siege of Osaka Castle. Kind of similar to Hakuoki, where each guy kind of gets a guy he fights against. Each guy gets a villain, sub-villain. There's like the main villain, and he's like minions that help him, 5 main minions. So each guy kind of in their routes gets a different minion to focus on. I did actually really like the minions and the bad guy. I thought they were very interesting characters. Actually, I also liked, you know, the 10 Sonata Braves have like 5-ish? 5 other ninjas that are side characters, that I found all of them very interesting. Actually, a couple of them I was kind of like, ooh, I would like you to have a romance route. It's kind of very much like Hakuoki in that vein for me, because I remember thinking the same thing when I played Hakuoki the first time. Like, all the side characters, I was like, man, I wish you had a route. And then, you know, eventually we got the later version of Hakuoki that gave a lot of people routes. I don't think Homura is quite as popular as Hakuoki, so I don't see that happening in the future for this game, but I would be all for it if we got a fan disc or something and some of the other side characters got routes. That'd be super cool. Oh god, I delayed. I was talking about the villains. Yeah, so the villains are super cool. They all have their different stories. It's really super fun to see the guys interact with them, see the guys fight with them, and they're all very different, which allows for the guys all to have very different stories, even though you're kind of following a similar path, right? this is all about the siege of Osaka Castle, right? So like the beginning and the end of the story points for this game are essentially the same. Like you start at Mount Kudo and you end at the final battle. And then there's several story points in between that are the same pretty much in all the routes. You're just getting to see different perspectives and different events depending on which route you go. So if I had to give Homura a rating, I'd probably land 8 out of 10. The art is gorgeous, as for normal. Music is really good. I really like the songs with the videos and the theme song and the music that plays throughout. Voice acting is great. No surprise there. It's an 8 for me just because I do prefer games more focused on romance. So like Cupid Parasite is a 10 out of 10 Otome for me. Be clear, for me. Cupid Parasite is a 10 out of 10. So I play Otome games really for the fluffy romance, and while I did really enjoy Homura, and I did like the bits of romance that do pop up throughout, it just doesn't hit as high of a rating for me. Because again, this is my personal rating, in my opinion. If you really love historical Otomes, and you may make this and say, hey, it's a 10 out of 10. It's very subjective, right? So I do think you should buy the game. There is not a plus edition from Idea Factory, physical plus edition, which was kind of sad because I do like to get the plus editions and the special editions when they're available. But if you do get the physical edition, they do have like a set of trading cards that you get with it. That was pretty cool. And if you aren't going to do physical edition, then you can get it through the eShop on Nintendo Switch. There's a regular version, and then there's a deluxe digital version that comes with the soundtrack. It also comes with some bonus short stories. If you're going to buy it digitally, I would recommend getting the digital deluxe edition, whatever, to get the bonus short stories, because the way they have the DLC set up is the only way to get the short stories is to buy the digital deluxe edition. So I did not get the short stories since I just got a key for the regular game. So if I was gonna go back and where you buy it from the beginning through the eShop, then I would get the version with short stories, because why not? So that's it for this video. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And bye-bye.